This is your dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. Starting from humble beginnings, Nick has been beating the markets for over 2 decades. He shares with you his take on the profitable trades that will have you moving towards financial freedom in no time at all. To see an in-depth review of his track record and much more, go to inthemoneystocks.com. Welcome. This is your daily dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. I'm Kerry Lutz. Today, and I do have the date correct today, 12/7/22, show number 446. And, well, markets have taken quite a bath the past couple of days, Nick.
They have. They have taken a little bit of a bath. The last 2 days, we've really seen light volume declines, but heavy selling, especially in the financials. Financial stocks have really come in quite a bit. And even today, they're struggling a bit. So we have definitely seen markets under some pressure. And I have to say, yields have been falling. You got all these, the dollar has come down a little bit, still not really helping. But today, the markets are looking to try to gain a little bit of traction, and we'll see what we get. But overall, Kerry, I have to say this much. The markets may be looking at light volume because next week we have, or this Friday, we have a PPI report. Next Tuesday, we have a CPI report. Then on Wednesday, we have the FOMC announcement. And then to put a cherry on top of the pie there, we have a quad witch options X next week. So end of quarter, end of year. I mean, just so much going on here.
So it's a massive news dump ahead is what you're saying, right?
That's exactly right. And again, with all of this news, sometimes you just have traders that just say, hey, you know what? I'm going to just wait this thing out and see where it goes. Even myself, I've lightened up on everything at this stage of the game, and I let things fall where they may, and then, pick up the pieces afterwards.
Hey, but look, today you mentioned in the notes here that the housing sector is strong, which, is totally counterintuitive here. Toll Brothers is up big.
Yes, it's incredible, but the home builders have actually been flashing buy signals and that they want to go higher. And that probably has a lot to do with interest rates moving lower. Lower yields obviously help the home builders. But I mean, the home builder news is dire. I mean, it's not like it's good. It's terrible. But that goes in to show you another reason why you really want to follow and watch the charts, because the charts have been saying home builders have a small leg up here.
Yeah, somebody told me to watch the charts and ignore the news. I can't remember who that was, though.
I wonder who that guy was.
Yeah, he's a smart guy, though. A real smart guy.
He sounds like a pretty sharp guy.
Hey, so gold, just when you thought precious metals were finished, as Brian C. says, gold is a scam, and I am totally empathetic to his point of view. But, we're getting back to 1800, but we'll see if it can hold 1800. My guess is we're going to get close, and then it's going to pull back again, and we're not going to see anything till first quarter of 23.
Well, here's my take on gold. I think we have upside to 1850 to 1875. I'm actually leaning towards 1875, but next week being options X, it's always a wild card because gold has a tendency to get slammed during options X. Today, we're looking at gold acting well. It's up about 0.8%. But that's the chart setup right now. The chart setup for gold to make one more move up is pretty good. And again, my upside call is going to be to around 1875, might be a slight bit lower, but right around that range. And then I do think gold starts to come back down.
But silver is the outsized performer today. It got slammed. I guess it was Monday it got slammed. And
it got slammed Monday and was, and down yesterday as well.
Yesterday. I mean, it was down like close to $1. I mean, it was over $23, got slammed, but now it's back up over $0.50.
Yeah, silver's having a great day today. And again, it's up 2.4%, sitting at around 22.88. The one thing I will say, though, we've had such a big run from the September bottom. Remember, silver bottomed on the first day of September. And, that low, if I'm not mistaken, was around 1740. And we went to 23. So you're looking at roughly a 30% upside move. it needs a breather now. That's all. I sold out of my silver position. I still hold all my bullion, all my coins, but I did sell out of all of my paper products like SLV and SIL and all of that good stuff. But now I'll be looking to get back in on a pullback.
The only thing that is worthy of note is that on the days when the metals rebound, like today, silver goes way, way above what gold does.
It leads.
It leads. Well, yeah, I guess that's a good way of saying it. It's silver is leading gold on these rebounds. So
that's right.
Maybe we'll get that pullback in silver, and maybe they'll switch. Who knows? But
what I expect to happen is when we get another big drop in gold, silver will make a higher low, and that'll be the move that sets silver up like a rocket ship. I mean, so a lot of people have been emailing me saying, "Hey Nick, have I missed a silver move? I know you did really well," and I tell them, "No, you haven't missed anything yet. This party's not over." So nothing goes up it's not even close. Nothing goes up in a straight line.
It's just getting started. This party.
That's right. That's right. You just got to know how to navigate in between and read these patterns. But I had a lot of naysayers out there, Kerry, when I stepped into silver on September 1st. Because they said, well, gold looks terrible. I said, I don't care what gold is doing. Silver's going to lead this dance. And silver is the lead dance partner.
So that's effectively 2 calls in one where you were spot on.
Pretty much.
Because you made the silver call, but you also made the call that it was going to lead gold. So that's 2 calls in one.
Well, I've had a pretty good year overall. So, I mean, the commodity front, we've had a good year overall, and really the silver call has been the probably the best of them all.
All right, and I would say our best call jointly. I mean, obviously you're the guru here. Was Bitcoin though? Calling
right.
Yes. It's down $51,000 from its peak, Nick.
Yes, the Bitcoin. But that's, the funny thing about Bitcoin, it's kind of, it follows the charts, right? So everybody thinks like something different is going to happen. But you know what I think was even a better call, Kerry, was when Bitcoin was trading around 45,000, 48,000, and everybody kept saying it's going back up. And you know what? I said, no, the pattern says this thing's going to 20,000. Or I think it was around there. And, obviously it took a little bit, about 4 months, but it went down exactly below 20,000, went to 19 and change.
And I just got to relate this from Bloomberg, this bank strategist, Robertson guy. So he's saying Bitcoin sinks further 70% in 2023. So I'm sure the guy was a raging bull all the way up to 67, almost 70,000, and now he's a raging bear. So maybe that's telling us something.
Yeah, that probably is. Again, I have Bitcoin going down sub 12 before we start to find a bottom. But I want to just put this out there, and this is something to think about. So many people have been in this crypto kind of trade for a while. A lot of people now are used to this digital money. But people don't realize there's a 12-week pilot program going on by the central banks and banks in New York regarding the central bank digital currency. That's where this is all going. So, I've never been a believer in Bitcoin. And Kerry, I've said that from when we started this show. I said, I've never understood it. I've never understood who created it. Nobody knows. Nobody tells us where blockchain came from. It just evolved on the scene. And I guess being, a kid from New York City, that my antennas go up when I hear that kind of stuff. So, again, I've seen a lot of those bingo hall Ponzi schemes where you buy a box and, one day you get paid out. But, it just didn't make any sense to me ever. And I still am not a believer in Bitcoin. But I do know that the central banks are trying to roll out a digital currency. And that pilot program is already underway.
And we've discussed this many, many times. That bumper sticker I once saw, it said, don't steal, the government hates competition. But don't go creating alternative monetary systems, because in the end, all government power derives from control over the monetary system in every country. So to think that these governments are just going to give up without a fight their control over the monetary systems in the world and the one main monetary system is naive. All right. It's just not
Absolutely.
happening.
Absolutely. Remember, I think the government once took Chuck E. Cheese to court over their coinage, right? That goes into their little video game money. So, people are in jail because of minting their own coins. You don't really, you have to look at this stuff from a historical point of view. And like you said, the government never allowed competition against their currency. And I don't think they're going to allow it this time either.
Yeah, well, I think it was the testing ground, and now it's been proven out that people will use it, and now it's off to the races. We'll see if they ban paper money outright. My gut feel is they won't, because of the gaming industry. Place like Las Vegas will shut down if there's no paper money, but that's just my feeling about it.
Well, Kerry, everything doesn't get rolled out immediately. What happens is they'll condition you, right? And we've all become conditioned because I go to the supermarket right now. I pull out my credit card. I pay at the cash register in about 2 seconds. There's no change that got to be exchanged or anything like that. It's very, very simple. But what's going to happen is if that does happen, we'll be following the model of China, which you'll be taxed on every single transaction. You'll know every single thing you do. Can't pay your babysitter to watch your kids. You can't pay your landscaper to cut your grass. You'll have to do everything in every transit. Think about this. All the money sent over to Ukraine, all of the new IRS agents that are out there, and what do they tell us? Any Venmo or PayPal charges over $600 better be reported. So you better bet your bottom dollar they're going to watch that crypto.
Well, the whole thing about my take on adding all those agents, meaningless. What they really want that billions and billions of dollars for is to put AI into all the IRS computing platforms, and then they won't need agents. So don't be taken in by 87,000 agents. That's scare tactics. That's distraction. It's to get you to ignore the fact that, the same thing that drives your Tesla will be auditing your financial statements.
Yeah, it's coming.
Behind the scenes. You'll
Yes.
never even know. Well,
you won't even know. I agree.
Well, that is it for today. But make sure you go over to Nick's site, inthemoneystocks.com, see his latest calls, how they've worked out, and how he's beaten the indices for decades. And, of course, the Twitter feeds at ITMS, at Nick Santiago01, at Kerry Lutz, email kl@kerrylutz.com. Post your comments to the YouTube channel. I'll be covering a lot more of those. So if you want to do that instead of sending the email, that's great. Nick, we will talk to you on Friday.
Sounds good, Kerry.